Welcome to the program and good evening to everyone. Now, let me take that if I told you that if suppose we have 10,000 people and I want to select a sample size of 500, suppose this sample size is suppose. I will definitely tell you how to decide the sample size. Do not worry about it. So if this is my sample I want, now if I have 10,000, then I can make a list starting from number 1 and the last number will be 10. Another can be, I can start giving number from 0 and the last number will be 999. So 9999 plus 1 will be 10,000. If this is the one, then how do we do it? Let me just make one table. It will not be a random number table, but I will try to explain you how exactly, if it is a random number table, then how will you be using it? Now, suppose this is the first column, this is second column, this is third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. This is 10 column, this is 11, this is 12. This is 12, this is 13, this is 14, this is 15, this is 16, this is 17, and this is say 18. So let me change the font size. So this is 18, say this is 19, and say this is 20. These are the 20 columns we have. Now in each column, the digit from 0 to 9 should appear equal number of times. And it should also appear equal number of times in the rows. So when the table contains rows and columns where each digit appears equal number of times, then that particular table is called a random number table. Is this point clear to you? Have you understood what is a random number table? If anyone asks you, will you be able to tell what is a random number table? Gaurav. Gaurav Kumar, will you be able to define what is a random number table? Petro, the random number table is one where each digit appears in rows and the column equal number of the times. That table is called a random number table. Petro. Dr. Petro, is it clear now? Okay, thank you very much. Now, let me try if I can make a random number table, but I'm just trying. And these random number tables, as I told you, you can go to Google and you can get the random number table. So I'm just trying to give you the random number table and see whether you can get it or you do not get it. Now I'm trying to put it on my mobile so that I can type it here. Actually, the signal is very weak, I cannot. So let me now put. Oh, sorry. I'm just making one more column and then I will start explaining you. Suppose this is a random number table. Actually, this is not the random number table, but let us say it looks like a random number table. Here, if you see in the first column, 5 comes 1, 2, 3 times. 2 come 1, 2, 2 times. So 5 comes 3 times, 2 comes 2 times. So this is not random. The 2 should also come 3 times. 3, that is why you are able to have it. But I'm not having a very long table in order to explain you how it has to be used. So let us suppose this is the random number table. Now I have to select the 500 out of 10,000. So how many columns should I start with? Should I start with 2 columns, 1 column, 3 columns? How many columns should I start with? How will you decide the total number of columns to be considered? I'm waiting for your response. No, okay, no problem. Johan, if you take 3 columns, then it is only the number containing 3 digits will be selected. And the person having the serial number of 10,000 can never be selected. So when you have to decide, then you should know what is your last number. Five columns which I should start with. Now, if you see the other one from 0 to 9999, that I should start with 4 columns. Then I have to take the 5 columns. Which 5 column do you want to select? Tell me which 5 columns you want to select. I'm still waiting for your answer. Which 5 columns do you want? You can take any 5 columns. So can you tell me which 5 columns do you want? 15 to 20. Then I have to, my dear friend, then I have to put the numbers here. You do not seem to understand what I am saying. If you want 15 to 20, then I have to put the numbers. So I request you, please select anyone from 1 to 14. Suppose you are selecting randomly. Let us say you select 2. You select 6 and 7 column, and you select 10 and the 11 columns. Now you have the 5 columns: 2nd, 6, 7, 10, and 11. Suppose you want to start, this is the first row, this is second, this is third. Suppose you want to start with the third row. Number in the third row that you are getting, it is 4, 8, 1, and 38. My dear friend, please bear with me. I'm not at my place. I'm outside, and here the connection is not very strong. Never mind. So here the first number that comes to this. There is no member of the population with this particular serial number. So you go to the next. So this was this. Next is 66,000. We don't have. Next is 33,000. We do not have. Next is, it is 80,000. We don't have. Next is 51,000. We do not have. Then 92,000. Then 17,000 to 28,000. This is because this is 2. This is 2. And this is 8. Because I'm taking 2 and 6 and 7 column. So that means this is 28,000. So we don't have. Then 79,000, then 36,000, then 13,000, then this and this. Now this is the number that here is 0, and in this is 4. This is 4 and this is 2. So it is 42,000. And then this is 10 and 11. So my number is, serial number is 42,003. Now there is a person whose serial number is 42,003 in this out of 10,000. So this person is selected. So the person who is selected, his serial number is 04203. So this person is selected. Now we go to the next. Now you select any 5 again. Now select any 5 column. In reality, you have a very big table. So therefore, you need not to worry about that. But now select any 5. Suppose you are selecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose you are selecting from 10 to 14. If you are selecting these columns, then the first number here is 3022. So this person is there in the list. So I have selected. Then next is, so this person has been selected. So this person is also selected. And now you go to the next. Next is 11,000, 38,000, 69,000 this. Now next number is this is selected. 30,030,13. So like this, you have to keep on moving because the table is a very long table. And you can keep on going till you get the 500 people. But suppose you do not want to number it from 1. You want to number them from 0. And if you want to number them from 0, then your number, the last number is 9999. So you require to see the 4 column only. So let us see, suppose if I take the first 4 column, if I take the first 4 column and I start from the 3rd row, then my first member selected is 3,421. And I have this number in 9,999. So this person is selected. Next number is 610, is also selected. Then next is 305, is also selected. Next is 7,858, is also selected. Next is 8,567, is also selected. Then 1,999 is also selected. Then 5,186 is also selected. And then 9,213 is also selected. And 6,721 is also selected. 4,330 is also selected. And 5,172 selected. Then 2,284 selected. 3,795 selected. Then 8 is selected. And then 1,826 is selected. 4,617 is selected. And 7,239 is selected. All these are selected. And the list is the table is very long. You can go ahead. Or if you come to the end, then now you take any 5 you like. So you can note down these numbers, and the people with these serial number, they are selected. And you can keep on moving till you get the 500. Now it is up to you whether you want to number them from 1 or you want to number them from 0. The choice is yours. So this is how the random number table can be used. So is it clear, or any participant like to ask a question? Is it clear, or do you want to ask a question? Okay, any other participant like to ask any question as how to use the random number table? Okay, no problem. If you have understood, I am happy. Now there is, so one was the cheat method and the second was the use of random number table. And the third is you can generate random numbers by using generator. So that means using generator to get random number. Now, if you go to Google, then Google will give you a generator. And in that generator, no, they are selected. Harkesh Kumar 5032 is selected. 2242 is also selected. If you are numbering them from 0 to 999, if you are numbering like this, then also they are selected. So therefore, if you like, you can get the random numbers by using the generator. So it will ask you what is the lowest number. If you start say 0, or you may say 11, or you may say 14, any number starting, no problem. And the last number also it will ask you. So the beginning number and the last number it will ask you. And then it will ask how many numbers you want. So that you can say whether 500 you want or 1472 you want, whatever the number you want, you just type that and you will get. Immediately it will give you the random number. And that I request you that after the webinar, you should use the generator, which is available in the Google. So go to Google and type the generator to get random number, and then you can use it. So these are the different ways to get the random numbers. Now, any question, any participant like to ask, then I am going to the next. Any question you want to ask? Any question you want to ask? Divya, go to Google and in that you can type generator, random number generator, random number generator, and then enter, and it will give you the random number generator, and that generator will ask you the minimum number. It will ask you the minimum number, and it will ask you maximum number, or it will ask you the smallest number and the largest number. So you can enter the smallest number and you can enter the largest number. Suppose if your smallest number is, suppose, say 17, and your largest number is, suppose, 23895. Suppose this is the number 23,895, and then we'll ask you that how many number you want, how many random numbers you want. That means it wants your sample size. So you can say that you want 579. So 579 that you want to, and it will give you immediately the list. And in that particular list, you will have the serial number between 17 and 23,895. Divya, is it clear, or do you want to ask question? Now, I'm going to the next. Now, the next is the systematic sampling. Second, the systematic sampling method or technique. Now, in this systematic sampling technique, the word is systematic. What is the meaning of systematic? Systematic means there is a particular interval. Then how do we select? So what we do is that we know our population. We know the population size. This is number one. So our population size is known. If my population size is, let us say, select nth. How to find out nth? Nth is equal to now you can find out that it is 5800 This is to be divided by 350. Now the number is 16.57. Now you cannot have people with this number. So you can say approximately 17 or 16, whatever you like. So what you can do is, so this is how you can calculate the nth number. Now when to use this systematic sampling, I will tell you. Suppose there are elections, and in elections, there are exit polls. You know it, whenever there are elections, so there will be always exit poll. When earlier elections used to be there and the exit poll used to be there used to be lot of difference between the exit poll and the real result. And if you have been following, then you might be observing that these days the exit poll result and the real result are quite close to each other. That is because the sampling procedure has been improved. So if there is an election, then what you do is that suppose it is MP, and in MP, suppose there are elections, or Karnataka. These days, Karnataka, there are elections. Now in Karnataka, now you know that what are the places where maximum people stay. Mysore is a big one. Bangalore is another big city. Then there are other big cities. So you can find out the big places. Now let us take Bangalore. Now in Bangalore, you can find out which is the place where maximum people go. And the shopkeeper there can tell you that between what time maximum people come in this particular place. Suppose they say that maximum people come between 5 and 9 in the evening. This is the time you can find out from the vendors who are there, because they are there for the last many years and they might be knowing approximately number. Now you can ask them approximately how many people come. So suppose, say that here, say 10,000 people come. Suppose. And if 10,000 people come here, now how many do you want? You want 350. So what you will do is 10,000 divided by 350. So this comes to 28.57. So this comes to 28.57. That means it is approximately 28 or 29. Suppose 28. Now in Bangalore, you have gone to a particular place where maximum people go. And you have gone between 5 and 9 o'clock. You have gone at 5 o'clock. Now you stand anywhere you like in that particular road where maximum people go. And you can start counting the person from any number, say 1, 2, 3. The moment you get the 28th person, immediately ask him who is likely to win the election. Do not ask the name of the person. So he counted down. Then again start counting, again the 28th person. Again ask the same thing. You keep on doing till you get the information from 350 people. Now, next day in Bangalore, you go to some other place. You can identify many places in Bangalore, and then you can find out that how many people come, and you can decide how many you want. And you can calculate the nth number. Now, then you can go to Mysore, and in Mysore also you can find out the places where maximum people go and repeat the same thing. So keep on collecting the information like this, and then you can use it. So the systematic sampling can be used for the exit poll. Suppose I want a business strategy, and I want to ask people whether the people like to purchase the items online or offline. And then I can do the same type of thing. I ask the question, will you say, suppose there is a vegetable, that will you like to purchase vegetable online or offline? And collect the number. And then you can decide whether on the basis of this information, do you want the online vegetable business or you want the offline vegetable business? Suppose you want your child to be admitted in the school, and you are a new person, and you don't know which school is the best. So you can repeat the same thing. That suppose you are in the bank, let us say Delhi, and you are staying in Sarojini Nagar, and you want that which is the best school in Sarojini Nagar. There are many schools. So you can go to the market, and the people come there, and you can ask them which is the best school in the Sarojini Nagar. So you have already listed the name, and they will tell you this is the best. And then you can decide whether you want to admit your child in that particular school or not. If you want to purchase the detergent, which is the best detergent, you can use it. So this systematic sampling can be used. If you want to buy a car and you want to know which is the best car available in that particular city, then you can use it. So systematic sampling technique can be used. But it is only when you consider your population to be homogeneous. That means you do not bother about male and female. You do not bother about educated and uneducated. You only consider them to be the human being, and then you do it. Is it clear? Is it okay or not? Now, I go to the next. Next is the stratified 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 random sampling or it is stratified proportionate random sampling. I'm taking both. Now, as the name says, it is stratification. Suppose I take a title like this. My title of the research is a study of anxiety of class 12th students of government senior secondary schools of Jaipur. Suppose this is my title, and here my population is the class 12th students of government senior secondary schools of Jaipur. So I can find out that how many government senior secondary schools are available in Jaipur, and I can collect the list of the class 12 students. So that means you know your population size. So your population size is available. And when the population size is available, you can use the probability sampling technique. So now, if this is my objective, the probability sampling technique to be used. But which probability sampling technique will not be clear from the title, and that will be clear from the objective. Suppose I write an objective like this to compare mean scores of mean scores of anxiety of arts, science, and now because here you have a group and it has to be divided into two parts, those students who are from urban area and those students who are from the rural area. So residential background is the variable or local is the variable. In the second one, I have written to compare mean scores of anxiety of arts, science, and commerce students. So in the class 12th, you have arts students, you have science students, you have commerce students. So you have to stratify your population on the basis of locale and on the basis of your subjects. Let me see, suppose I want on the basis of the locale. Now, what I do is that I know my population. Suppose my population is, say, 12,000. And the sample which I want to select, suppose the sample I want to select is 600. Just randomly, I'm telling you. Now, because according to objective number 1, you want the students from urban area as well as the rural area. So you must know that you have the locale as a variable. It is urban and the rural. Now you must know that out of 12,000, how many people are from urban area and how many are from the rural area. Because I have the list. So from the list, I can count and I can find out that out of 12,000, the urban area people are, let us say, the 30%. Or let us say it is 70%. And the rural area students are, let us say it is 30%. Now, if you have to find out that 70% of 12,000, how many? That 12,000, it is to be multiplied by 0.7. So it comes to 840. So 8,400 will be the students who will belong to the urban area. And now you can find out that out of 12,000, it is 0.3. That means 3,600 will be the rural area. And if you add the 8,400, now these 8,400 all belong to the urban area. So it is a homogeneous group. And whenever it is a homogeneous group, you can use random sampling. That is why the name is stratified random sampling. Stratified means you divide into the strata or stratum, and then it becomes a homogeneous, and therefore you use it. So you have 8,400 all urban and you have 3,600 all rural. Now I want 6,000. Sorry, I want 600, the sample. So what I do is that I select the 300 from 8,400. I am selecting 300 randomly. And I am selecting another 300 randomly from the rural one. So here out of 8,400, I have taken 300, and out of 3,600, I have taken 300. When you are doing like this is called stratified random sampling. So this is called stratified random sampling. Let me just make little space and all that. So this will be the stratified Now in this, can you just tell me that this is 300 out of 8,400, and this is 300 out of 3,600. Do you think which group is more represented and which group is less represented? Is urban more represented or less represented in comparison to the rural, or rural is more represented or is less represented in terms of the urban? So therefore the rural is more represented, highly represented, because you are taking out of 3,603 people and you are taking out of 8,403 people. So your rural people will be more represented and urban people will be less represented. This is the problem with stratified random sampling. But if you want the stratified proportionate random sampling, now I know that the urban are 70%, so they must be 70% in the sample. Now you can find out the 70% of the 600. How much will it be? 70% of 600 is how much? That's right. It is 420. So you are selecting 420 randomly out of 8,400. And the 30% of 600 will be 180. So that means out of 3,600, you select 180, and out of 8,400, you select 420. If you are selecting like this, then here not a even single stratum is highly represented or low representation, it's in proportion. So this is what we call it stratified proportionate. Stratified proportionate random sampling. So this is how you have to decide which one you want. Now this is the stratification I have done on the basis of one particular variable. Now, if you want stratification in another variable, that also I can do, no problem at all. or can you do it yourself? Now I want that first of all, let us have the people who will be from the urban and the rural. Now I want the people in the urban, how many are from science, arts, how many are from science, and how many are from commerce. So out of the urban people, how many students have taken arts, how many students have taken science, and how many students have taken commerce. Similarly, in the rural area, I can find out how many have taken arts, how many have taken science, and how many have taken commerce. Now suppose, I'm just saying suppose that the arts out of 70%, say 25% of the people have taken arts. And suppose 35% of the people have taken science. So 25 plus 35 is 60. And suppose 10% of the people have taken science. Oh, commerce. Suppose this is this situation in the urban. Now let us see in the rural area. That in the rural area, suppose that 10% people have taken arts, and let us say the 15% of the people have taken science, and suppose it is 25, and suppose the 5% of the people have taken commerce. Now, if you want 6,000, so first of all, find out of 12,000, how many are the people from the arts. So it is 12,000 so you have the 12,000, and out of 12,000 you have the 25 that you have already done. That 70% is 8,400. So that means this will be 8,400. You have already selected, and here it was the 3,600. Because is it out of 70% is 25 here, 35 here, and 10 here. So that means out of 8,400, you find out that 25%. How many people will be there? 8,400 multiplied by 0.25. That is 2,000. So it's 2,100. and it is 35. So it is 8400 multiplied by 0.35. This is 2940. 2940. And 10% will be 840. So these are the people who will be, that out of 840, these are the people from arts, these are the people from science, and these are the people from commerce. Now, similarly, here you can find that it is 10% means 360 will be here, and 15% means that 3600.15, it is 540, and here it is 3600 into 0.05, and that is 180. Now, you want how many? 600. And if you want the 600, the total is 600, then how many should you select from here? So out of 600, if you want the 70%, so 420. So all these three must have 420. And if you find out 420, because you want 420, so 420 multiplied by 0.25. So you want 105 from here, and this will be 420 into 0.35. You want 147 here, and 420 multiplied by 0.1, it is 42. So if you add all them, then it will be 420. Now, similarly, you can find it out from here. This is proportionate. But if you do not want proportionate, then if you want the 600, then what you can do is that you want 100 from here, 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 and 100 from here. So let me now complete this first. So now here you want that so now it will be the 10%, that means 60. It will be 15%. That means 90. And it will be 5%. That means 30. And if you add 105 plus 147 plus 42 plus 60 plus 90 and plus 30. Have I made some mistake somewhere? Because it is not coming to. Okay, let me just do, I'll take it again. That here, because these are 6, so I will select 100 here, and 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 I will select 100 here. So if I'm selecting 100, 100, 100, that means it is 600. This is what is called stratified random sampling. But if I want in proportion, then it is 25% of so now this is what is called stratified random sampling. But if I want stratified proportionate random sampling, then I have to find out that out of 25, that it is 600 multiplied by 0.25, and that's come to 150. And now I want the 600 into 0.35, and that's come to 210. And I want it is 60. This is in proportion, because your arts students are 25%. So in 600, you should have 25%, 600, you should have 35% of science and 10% of this. And now, similarly here, you have that 10% that makes 60, and you have 15% makes 90, and you have 5% makes 30. Now, if you add all these, 150 plus 100 plus 100 plus 150 plus 30, it comes to 530. Why? What is the problem? Is it 10% of 600? Oh, okay. I made a mistake. Just wait. So it is 60. It is 90. Have I made mistake in some calculation? Because it is not coming to 600. Or it is 30%, 180. So this is 180. And this is 150 and 210 and 60. It is 420. Any mistake have I done in calculation? So all right. So therefore, this is how you have done stratification on the basis of two variables. Now, if you want stratification on the basis of one more variable, then you can continue like this and the complete procedure becomes little bit difficult, cumbersome. And now you can decide whether you want to use the stratified random sampling or you want to use the stratified proportionate random sampling. Now this particular group is a homogeneous group. It is urban arts. The arts students belonging to urban area, it is the homogeneous, and now you can select 150 randomly. And science urban, you can select randomly. And commerce urban, you can select randomly because they are the homogeneous stratum. So there are 6 strata. So one stratum is urban, rural, urban arts, another is urban science, another is urban commerce, another is rural arts, another is rural science, and another is rural commerce. So this is how you can do the stratification. But whether stratification is required or not, it depends on your objective. So your title will only tell you whether you should use the probability sampling technique or you should use the non-probability sampling technique. It will not tell you more than that. The rest of the things will be decided by your objectives. That your objectives only will tell you that whether you should go for stratification or not. And in this case, because we want urban and rural, so naturally we have to have a stratification. So this is how you should proceed and to get your sample selected by using the stratified random sampling or stratified proportionate random sampling. Now, any question you want to ask? Gaurav, do not worry, do not worry. I will be coming to the sample size, then I will tell you how it has to be done. I cannot break the continuity. Please wait. If I do not tell you, Then you ask me the question, nothing to worry about it. I'm not going to tell you today. I will not tell you tomorrow. Maybe day after tomorrow, I will be able to tell you because I have still to complete the probability sampling technique and non-probability sampling technique. Once I complete that, then I come to the sample size. So maybe you have to wait for 1 day or 1.5 days, something like that. Is it all right, dear friends? And if it is okay, then I am closing it today here, and tomorrow I will be taking, if your population is widespread, I will be taking this, if your population is widespread, then the two sampling techniques are available. One sampling technique is called cluster sampling technique, and another one is called multi-stage sampling technique. Please understand, your population is widespread. Suppose you take the Indore, it is not widespread. But if you take MP, it is widespread. If you take Lucknow, it is not widespread. If you take UP, it is widespread. If you take Udaipur, it is not widespread. But if you take Rajasthan, it is widespread. If you take Ahmedabad, it is not widespread. But if you take Gujarat, it is widespread. If you take Pune, it is not widespread. But if you take Maharashtra, then it is widespread. So I hope now you have understood the meaning of widespread and not widespread. And it is relative. So Gujarat, in comparison to India, is less widespread and India is widespread. So this I have already told you. So if it is a widespread, then I will write a title, I will write objective, and then I will tell you this is how. Now, if this is this, then you have to use the cluster sampling or multi-stage sampling. And how it is to be done, this I will explain you tomorrow. So thank you very much for joining. Stay safe, keep learning.